All right, this is the last section in this chapter. So tomorrow there's quite a few that are gone. So tomorrow we won't do anything. Thursday we'll review, and then Friday will be the chapter test.
No. What?
And then next week, then you only have 2 days of class. So one day we'll go over the test, the other day you'll have a free day. Okay? So this last section, 5-6, the indirect proof. Indirect proofs are used more so in algebra, but it's a way, we're not going to go through them yet, so this is just kind of an introduction to them. What you want to do on an indirect proof is assume the opposite is true, okay, and then you show that's not possible. So, since the opposite isn't possible, then what they originally said has to be possible. Does that make sense? Okay. So whatever they're telling you to try and prove, you assume that that is not true, and then you go through and it and show that that doesn't work. So then what they originally showed has to be true. And again, we're not going to do any of them yet. It's just an introduction, so you know what it is. The rest of this section, I've kind of already showed you what it is. It's comparing angles and their sides. So if you look at these two triangles here, this is 100 and this is 80. So how does RT, the length, compare to VX? It's greater. Whatever side is opposite the bigger angle is the bigger side. And that works the other way too. Since this is 8 and this is 7, angle A would be greater than angle D. So really that's all that this section is about. Here's an example of an indirect proof. It's given that this triangle is a right triangle and angle B is 90. Prove that AB does not have an obtuse angle. So, here's what we would do. You could assume angle A is, pick any obtuse angle you want. You guys remember what obtuse means? Greater than 90, right? So we'll just say it's 100 degrees. Then we know angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals how much? 180. So since A is 100, you put that in there. 100 plus, they tell us B is 90, plus angle C equals 180. So when you solve it, you get 190 plus angle C equals 180. When you subtract 190, you get negative. Right. And you'd say angles can't be negative. Therefore, you guys probably haven't learned, they use this in science a lot. 3 dots like that means therefore. It's the little symbol for the word therefore. Anyone ever seen that? No?
I've seen that in science.
So therefore, since we proved this is not true, any angle can't be obtuse. So there's an example of just assuming the opposite and proving it's not true. And then that means what the original thing is true. So again, that's for later. It's just an introduction. Okay. So the hinge theorem, I guess I didn't call it what it is. The hinge theorem is the bigger the angle, the longer the opposite side is because it hinges open. Okay. So if this is 50 and this is 42, obviously this side has to be longer, right? Yeah. So of these 3, what could be a side? 16. Because 19 means they'd be the same angle, 22 means it'd be bigger. this is 4.3 and this is 3.7, this angle has to be bigger than 20, so it's 25. Okay? Pretty easy. And then we've got the ones, I showed you this before too. Comparing. How does side AB compare to YZ?
Less than.
It's less than. AB is opposite 50, YZ is opposite 53. How does angle 1 compare to angle 2?
It's greater.
It's greater because 1 is opposite of 14, 2 is opposite of 13. So, the whole assignment today is this and this. Pretty easy.